The night started as a celebration. Our new home, our new beginning, the life we were supposed to build together. Friends, co-workers, neighbors, everyone we knew showed up with gifts, wine, and laughter. I was grilling outside, greeting people at the door, making sure everything went smoothly. I was proud of the house, proud of the moment, proud of the marriage I thought I had. My wife, Emma, floated around the rooms like she owned the night. She was glowing, charismatic, entertaining everyone who came near her. I thought she was just being a good host, but in reality, she was setting the stage for the biggest humiliation of my life. From the beginning, something felt off. Emma kept disappearing into the hallway or the kitchen, whispering into her phone, pretending to check on the appetizers or refilled drinks, even though nothing needed checking or refilling. Every time I approached her, she would smile too brightly, touch my arm for half a second, and then immediately walk away. I brushed it off. Parties made her anxious, and she often distracted herself. But then Adrian showed up, her co-worker. Young, muscular, charming, the kind of guy everyone notices. And Emma noticed him more than anyone else. Too much. His arrival changed the entire energy around her. She lit up in a way she never did for me anymore. They began talking in the corner, sharing whispers, laughing, leaning close enough that their shoulders pressed. People started noticing. A few guests exchanged glances, awkward and concerned. One of my friends nudged me and asked quietly, "Dude, everything okay between you two?" I forced a smile and pretended not to see what everyone else clearly saw. But the truth hit me like a knife when I walked into the hallway and caught Adrian's hand brushing against her lower back, lingering just a second too long. She didn't flinch. She didn't even step away. She smiled. I confronted her quietly, calmly, hoping, praying that I was wrong. I said her name softly and asked if we could talk outside. Instead of coming with me, she crossed her arms, rolled her eyes dramatically, and said, loud enough for people nearby to hear, "Not now. Don't ruin the night." Her tone cut deeper than the words. I swallowed the hurt and stepped outside alone, trying to gather myself. When I returned, everything exploded. I walked into the living room just in time to see her standing in the center, face flushed with anger, eyes blazing. And who was standing beside her? Adrian. Too close. People had formed a half circle around them, confused, uncomfortable. Someone must have asked if there was something going on because the next moment she snapped. She pointed at me with shaking hands, and her voice rose so loudly the music seemed to stop mid-beat. "Yes, we're sleeping together," she screamed. "He's better than you. Now leave. Just leave." The room froze. Guests stared at her in absolute shock. A few gasped. One woman whispered, "Oh my God." I stood there feeling the world collapse inside my chest. Her words weren't just cruel. They were an execution, public, violent, final. She humiliated me in our own home, at our own party, in front of everyone we knew. But the worst part, Adrian looked horrified too. He hadn't expected her to explode like that. He stepped back from her, muttering, "Emma, what the hell?" She ignored him, eyes locked on me, breathing hard like she had finally freed herself from some imaginary prison. I didn't scream back. I didn't curse. I didn't ask questions. Instead, I took a slow breath, nodded once, and walked toward the door. Everyone parted for me like I was a ghost. Emma expected me to fight, beg, or break down, but I didn't give her any of that. I simply left. That silence ruined her. The moment the door closed behind me, the entire illusion she had built shattered right in front of her guests. People turned on her instantly. A coworker muttered, "You're disgusting." A neighbor shook his head in disappointment. Someone else said, "You embarrassed your husband. For what?" Adrian pulled his hand away from her and backed up. "I never agreed to this," he said sharply. "You're crazy. I'm not part of whatever fantasy this is." Then, right in front of everyone, he walked out too. Her so-called better man abandoned her at the exact moment she needed him to validate her lies. Within minutes, most of the guests left, whispering, judging, stunned. The party ended in humiliation, not celebration. Emma was left standing in the middle of the living room of the house I paid for, surrounded by dirty dishes, spilled drinks, and the wreckage of her own outburst. She called me 27 times that night. She sent long messages, voice notes filled with sobbing apologies, claiming she didn't mean it, that she just wanted to get attention, that she was drunk and stupid. But the truth was simple. She showed everyone who she really was. She destroyed herself in the process, and I never went back. The next morning, when her parents arrived after hearing what happened, they found her curled on the couch, crying. The house silent and empty, except for the marriage she had burned to ashes with her own hands. She wanted me gone. She wanted him instead. She wanted drama, attention, power. But what she really got was the one thing she never imagined: complete and total isolation in the home she thought she'd won.